Hello, and thank you for joining me today. My name is Evan, and we're going to take a deep dive into Town Center. Last video, we did an overview of Town Center, what it is, how it works for municipalities, HOAs, country clubs, and apartment complexes. Today, we'll take a deep dive into the admin panel and how to configure your community. So, glad to get started, and let's go. Now that we've gone through an overview of Town Center, let's dive a little deeper into issues and groups and how we create those components. So, what I'm going to do is log into my community admin. And my admin has a little bit more just because I'm a global admin, but yours will have this community tab with anything enabled as part of your process here. Generally, you'll land on this dashboard page, so you'll have a view of what's going on in your community between issues, the types of issues, the spikes in issues over the past 30, 90 days, or a year. From the group's perspective, to give you an idea of what a group is, it's just a way to segment different issue types. So, say for instance, lawn care, lawn maintenance, sidewalks, things like that. That may be the highway department. Whereas cleaning up things for, the town hall or doing maintenance in the town hall would be part of the maintenance crew. So there's different groups that can be different people that can be assigned to different groups. And then what happens from there is your issue type is assigned to a group. So I'll create an issue type that will go to a group that will have a set of employees, supervisors, contractors in them. And we'll show you a little bit about how that works. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to delete these groups real quick because we're going to start from scratch. So we'll go ahead and delete. And we're in an HOA right now. We have some other municipalities in here, so Deep River is one of them. But we'll take a look at Forest at Black Bear. So what we'll want to do, and I can't ever spell maintenance. So we'll do maintenance, boom. And we'll go over here, and we're going to name this group maintenance. We're going to say maintenance for common areas like Clubhouse. And then we'll do create group. And then from here, this group gets created. We can assign employees to that. So we're going to create another group as well in here. We're going to call this lawn or landscaping. And landscaping for common areas. And as you know, generally landscaping for homes in an HOA don't count. So we just want to make sure we specify common areas here. So we'll create that group as well. And then what we can do from here is actually assign an employee to this group. Now, we can add an existing user, so somebody who we've added before as an employee, or we can add a brand new user as an employee. So they don't have to onboard to the platform. They don't have to go sign up and do all of this stuff. You can actually add them right here in the groups. So we'll go ahead and add my personal email here just as an example. And we'll set myself as a supervisor. I'm not going to add a phone for now. It's not really applicable for what we're showing. And then here I'm part of the maintenance group. Now the other groups too that I can be part of are the landscaping. So I'm an employee on the landscaping, but I'm not a supervisor. So if we go ahead and type my name, it'll pop up here. And then I can actually set myself as an employee of landscaping. Not a supervisor, but employee. That's just an idea. You can set different levels for different types of groups. So one employee can be part of multiple groups, or one member can be part of multiple groups. Now that we have groups selected, we're actually going to clean this up as well, just to kind of get us where we need to be. And we'll do this as well. We're going to go ahead and create a new issue type. So in this issue type, we're going to go ahead and say pothole, right? Or road issue. And there is an issue on a road in the community. So the SLA for this, we might say 72 hours because it takes some time to get people out there. Maintenance is going to be our default group. And then our default assignee is the supervisor. And then from there, that supervisor can go ahead and assign that out to individuals or groups or whoever he would like. So he or she would like. And then we'll go ahead and create. And then from here too, we can create another one. So we can say, let's see, Clubhouse issue, gym equipment issue. as an example. Your clubhouse is a gym. Issue with gym equipment in the clubhouse. And generally, let's say 48 hours, because we can get somebody out there pretty quick. And then we'll go to maintenance. We can do a default assignee and create. And then from there, we can do a bunch of other things. We can add as many as we want here. From here, now this is available to the members of the community. So if we were to go back out, and I'm just going to go out here, I'm going to sign out, and I'm going to sign in with Apple, which does this magic thing with my email where it creates a temporary email for me. And we'll sign in and continue. And then from here, I'm actually part of 2 communities, and I've joined these 2 communities. So I started out with Deep River, and then I've added an HOA. And this is incredibly useful for people who have houses or are in multiple communities. So they may have one in a municipality, and then they may have one in some kind of HOA, or maybe multiple municipalities, right? So right here, we can go to Forest of Black Bear, and we have access to the tabs that are available for this specific municipality or HOA or country club. In this case, we've enabled ARC requests, we've enabled feedback and announcements, as well as issues. And we can start by reporting an issue. So right here, you can see, I'm going to report as myself. There's a gym equipment issue for the gym in the gym. We don't really need a location for that. But in this case, we need to say the bench press seat is broken and needs repair. And from here, I can actually take a photo of that bench press seat being broken so they can see what's going on. It may give them a better idea of what they need to fix or what equipment they need to bring, things like that. And just a note too, we have a mobile app coming out, and the site is also mobile responsive. So you can go on your phone onto the site right now and log in. It will, go to the issues and type all this stuff in. And then you can actually take a photo. You add photo. It says take a photo or use an existing photo and attach it to the ticket. The app will work the exact same way. I'll show you that in a later video. But this right now is just the web UI. So we'll submit an issue. Now that this issue is submitted, you can see some information about it. We have it's open, so that means that nobody's actually taken a look at it yet. We have the ability to upload photos, and we have the ability to see comments. Now, if we go back to the other side, let's just take a look at our email. So when we onboarded that employee got an email here. So it says, welcome, you've been added to Forest at Black Bear as a supervisor. Here is your temporary login credentials. So what we'll do initially, let's just go ahead and type in my email and my temporary password. And then from here, I'm required to create a new password. And we'll set password. So now that I'm in, I can actually see existing issues that I'm part of the group for. So if I wanted to, as a gym equipment issue, I can go ahead and take a look at this issue, go in, see why the seat is broken. Obviously, it's auto-assigned to me, so I'm the assignee. If we had other members or I had other employees that worked under me, I could set that accordingly. And then I can link other tickets. This is nice because if you have multiple residents reporting the same issue, instead of having to go and update each ticket individually, they can all be linked together and you can update a single ticket. So we can say, all set, we fixed the seat. And we hit post. And we can actually go ahead and hit resolved because we fixed the seat. You have a few different options here: in progress, closed, or resolved. And you can go back and actually see this. So if we're to log back into the member of the community as the example, so Forest at Black Bear, you can see that my issue's been resolved. And if the user or the employee wanted to upload photos to show that, it's been repaired, whoever's working on it, they can do that as well, just to provide some evidence that it's been repaired. So that right there is issues. And then we'll go ahead and move on to ARC requests. Now that we've talked about issues, we'll go ahead and log into our admin and talk about ARC requests. ARC requests are generally specific to HOAs, but they can also apply to other things inside of municipalities. So if you wanted to do, building permits, or you wanted certain documentation to go through ARC requests, you can absolutely do that. So if we go here, we see we have the ability to do ARC request types and then review open ARC requests. If we go to ARC request types, we already have 2 here for ARC requests. One is outdoor fixtures. So in an HOA, if you do an outdoor fixture, generally you'll have to go through the board and talk about the fixture and how it's going to look and provide plans and things like that. Roofing is the same thing. So we have the ability to do roofing here as well. And you can see we have a little bit of a difference here. So expected review is 30 days on both, but we have different required documents for both. So what I can do is, if I wanted to do outdoor showers, and we set this to 15 days, we'll say shower plan. We'll do the plan. We'll do the contractor, license, and information. I can actually hit save. And now that those become 2 things that you need as part of that ARC request. So that's as easy as it is creating an ARC request for different types, depending on your scenario. And submitting an ARC request is just as simple. So we'll sign back in as a user or community member. And then we'll go over to ARC requests. We'll set up a new request. And then we have all of these in our dropdown now. So the one we just created is an outdoor shower. It tells us exactly what the required documents are for this. We have the expected review time, all of that. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, blanket lane. Putting in an outdoor shower on the side of the house, east. And the contractor's name is Cool Showers LLC, right? And their license number, just put whatever. For here, we can set the date that this is going to be done. So based on the fact that it takes 15 days to review this, we'll just say, hey, this is going to happen on the 27th. It will finish on the 27th. And then we can actually go ahead and attach files to this. So we can go, we're just going to attach, I don't know, 2 files. They're photos of my wife. So we'll just do that. This, obviously you want to attach the real files, but just for the submitting, we'll just submit here, just so it shows something. We can see submit or pending review. And then if we can actually go into this, see the documents we've attached. Please let me know if there are any questions, right? So we have the ability to comment back and forth with the board, have a conversation, clarify anything, add any things that are needed. From the other side, from the community admin or the board member, we can actually go ahead and go to our ARC requests and see this outdoor shower is pending, submitted by, the user. And we can go ahead and say, approved, great for summertime. I don't know, people write on these things, but we'll do record decision. We have the ability to approve with conditions, or deny. So we'll just say, hey, we approved it. Congrats. Now that that's been approved, we can go ahead and look at that from the other side. We can see that it's been approved if we go to our ARC requests, and we're good to go. We can start our project. So very, very simple and very trackable. So if there's an issue where a community member comes back and says, well, it was approved over here, but not over here, you can go in and say, hey, well, there were conditions on this, or this was approved because of this. And here's the tracking and all the information and what we approved and denied, and have a conversation about why. So very, very simple interface, very simple configuration for creating ARC requests, or very simple form for creating ARC requests. Great for your community. All right. So now that we've talked about ARC requests, we're going to go ahead and talk about community feedback. This is a really cool tool for any HOA board, for any country club board, or your municipality. And it gives you a good idea of what your residents are talking about, any kind of concerns they have, anything they want to bring up, whatever it may be. So from the submit feedback perspective, all they have to do is go to feedback, submit feedback, select a category if they would like. So general all the way to other. We could do general. You can submit anonymously or with your user. So if you wanted them to reach out to you, you could absolutely do that. I can say, I think the swings at the park need to be maintained. Right, better. Maintained. I can't type today. Better. I would love for my kids to be able to swing. And I can submit this anonymously, or I can submit, I'm just going to do anonymously to show you how this works. We'll say, maintenance, submit feedback. And that feedback, is anonymous and it's pending. And then from the other side too, from the actual community admin, now that that's submitted, if you wanted to see what that looked like, you'd just be able to go. You can see feedback review, and you can see, hey, there's some feedback. And what is that feedback? Oh, I think the park's swings need to be fixed. On it. Thanks for the feedback. And post. And now we can actually acknowledge this, and it goes back as acknowledged. So the user gets some feedback to say, hey, thanks for letting us know. We're absolutely on it. We are going to take care of that for you. And if we go back here, we can go ahead to our feedback, and we can see it's been acknowledged. And if we go in here, we can see on it. Thanks for the feedback. So pretty cool stuff going on here from the end user perspective, what they can see. And we plan on bringing some notifications in here with a notification bell down in the future to let them know, hey, this has been acknowledged. There's some comments for you to see. So pretty cool stuff coming in. It's already built into mobile, but it's not built into here. It will be soon. Thank you very much. So that's a deep dive into some of the basics of Town Center. So we're happy to do some enhancements in the future. We're bringing some notifications to the web app here. They're already built into mobile. We have a lot coming down the pipe, and we love your feedback. So part of our process is doing this 1-year beta, getting that feedback on what you like, what you don't like. We'll be building into that feedback. The year would be free as a starter, and then a heavy discount in the years to come after that, especially for helping us out build out this platform. As I see, it's definitely needed across the communities, whether it's an HOA, country club, apartment complex, or a municipality. We're happy to get in contact. If you would like to contact us, please go to tcenter.io. It'll be linked in the video. There's a contact us form, and we will get back to you as soon as we can. Until then, thanks for watching.